Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you for joining us at Reform to Freedom Ministries, where we share stories of those who have triumphed over challenges beyond the prison bars. Hear credible testimonies from prison advocates, social activists, and legal experts which can bring impeachment. Join us each Thursday at noon for the latest.
Okay, and so we want to correct that. It's the announcement said impeachment, but we meant to say impactment. That's what we wanted him to say, so I'm sorry about that. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to Reform to Freedom Ministries. This is your host, Ms. Diane Winbush, and we are here in the studio today fighting for justice with Marqui Clardy Sr. And so this individual has an impeccable story. It's really something as to how the justice system would even sentence this young man in the terms that they would, and no one was actually physically harmed. So we have his advocate that is on the show this morning, and her name is Kiara Mahid. And so good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Okay, and so we're going to get right into it. Let us know a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you. Not in regards to. We don't want to get started with how you got started with Marqui, but we want to get a little bit started about you and tell us a little bit about your history.
Okay. So I'm formerly incarcerated myself, and after my reentry from federal prison in 2017. Well, I came home in 2014. So upon going back to school and obtaining my degree for criminal justice, and just overcoming some of my personal obstacles and reentering into society, I thought, how can I put something in place to help those who are coming behind me, to help others who are transitioning as well. And so that's when I collaborated with a couple of dear friends of mine. We bounced a few ideas off of each other, and we birthed the Redemptive Life Foundation.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. So now do we have Marqui on the show at the moment?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good morning, Marqui, and welcome to Reform to Freedom Ministries. This is your host, Ms. Diane Winbush. And so how are you today?
I'm doing all right, Ms. Winbush, and how are you this morning?
All right. I am great, and also your advocate, Kiara, is also on the line, and she's going to help us through this show today. And so welcome, and tell us a little bit about you, Marqui, before all of this came about.
Okay, thank you. Well, a little bit about myself. My name is Marqui Clardy Sr. I am a father of four. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I served in the Navy from 2001 until 2005. And I got out, started having like a series of, bad, I guess a stroke of bad luck. Financial pitfalls started hitting me left and right. And I made a very poor choice to break the law as a result. Trying to get myself out of the financial bind I was in. And this is while I was actually attending college at the time. I had gotten out of the military, and I started attending Older Men University. And this one thing led to another. My car ended up getting flooded. I lost my job. I was being evicted from my apartment. I couldn't pay my tuition, so I had a moratorium placed on my school registration. And I had never been the type of person to break the law or even think about it, at that time. I just found myself, I felt like I was, really at rock bottom. It's kind of hard now to imagine the mental place that I was in at that time, because I had never been the type to resort to crime. So even now, with having 13 years of reflecting on that, that decision, I'm still not I still can't reconcile with how I came to the point of saying I'm going to break the law to get money, to get myself on my feet. I felt like I was at rock bottom, and I made a very poor choice.
Okay, and a lot of things, Clardy, I want to make this mention to you. A lot of individuals, like all of us, we make quick indiscretions. We make quick decisions. All of us have faults. That's the reason why I opened up this podcast about 6 months ago for families and for individuals and for victims and for attorneys as well, because all of us have made poor choices, okay? And so this is not something where you should reflect anything as to, well, I did something bad that I done, even though we all have our own indiscretions and what have you, but this right here is to kind of help you to move forward from this, and also to be able to bring light as to how the justice system was able to be able to move forward and did not contest this judge. The attorneys did not contest the judge as to the extreme over-sentencing that he placed on your case. And so I just feel that is totally ridiculous, and we're going to continue to keep this show open for you whenever you feel like you need to be able to share information that is pertinent to your case. So this question is for, and thank you so much for being with us, Marqui. This question is for Kiara. So Kiara, how was this, how did you come about getting on the case with Marqui? I know you had spoke about you had some previous indiscretions as well, and I wanted to point that out, that all of us have, just some people have been caught and some have not. So let's put that out there. And so I think everybody has something that they could be able to share where they shouldn't have done, they shouldn't have went, they shouldn't have said, and they shouldn't have been. So, we're not here to judge. So I wanted to see how you came apart as to being an advocate for Marqui.
Okay, so one thing I think that we should keep in our mind, too, is that someone's deliverance could be attached to our testimony. So I think, when you've overcame adversities and certain trials and tribulations in life, it's almost your duty, in a sense, to share your story and to give back where you can. So, again, that's kind of like the backstory of why I founded the nonprofit. So one of the first programs that we had through the nonprofit was a clemency project, where we investigate, prepare, and submit conditional pardons to the state in whatever the client or whatever state that a client is incarcerated in, or to the president if it's a federal case. So in 2017, when we launched the clemency project, I think Marqui heard about our organization through another offender at the institution that he's at in the law library. If I'm not mistaken, it may have been Jason Ortega who mentioned our organization of Marqui. And Marqui reached out to me, or had his mom reach out to me, and the rest is pretty much history. She gave me the backstory, and like you, I was appalled that someone with his history, this is the first time he's ever been in trouble, very intelligent, as you can tell by speaking to him, very well-rounded, had accomplished so much at this time, had, dedicated his life and service to the military, and, not to justify his action, but it didn't make sense for him to be sentenced the way that he was and treated the way that he was, being filtered through the system.
Absolutely, because, as I stated, what I do is we've had a lot of individuals to be able to reach out to us. I want you to help us. I'm innocent. I did not do this. So the first thing I do is what I do is I run straight to research. That's the first thing that I do. And so the research is going to tell me what he should have, would have, could have done. Okay, and so a lot of times individuals, they won't give you the full facts, and so instead of me just going through all of that kerfuffle, I'll just go straight to the research. And when I researched out this case, and I think I may have saw it on Instagram, and I think we may follow the page on Facebook too of Marqui, and I just was astounded as to how the judicial system was able to. Now, I can understand if this was a Craigslist issue, this is a Craigslist robbery, and somebody was hurt, their eye was put out, they perhaps maybe have died or something like that. But this is a first-time offender, and sometimes I'm going to say this too to the both of you. We have to be careful even with the magistrates that sometimes individuals will take things too personally. So take, for example, like this individual has not been convicted of it, but we have heard certain federal attorneys and federal officers say that when this judge who had a daughter that either she OD'd or either she passed away from drugs, he comes in there and anybody that sells drugs, he throws the book at them. That's being prejudiced and biased. The justice system is not based off of our one specific single biasness or prejudice of something that is going on with me. Right then, he should have been removed from those cases. But right today, he has retired, and people are behind bars 50, 60, and 100 years due to him being prejudiced according to his own daughter having issues with drugs. So with that being said, that's just totally ridiculous. With that being said, how did you feel? This question is for Marqui. How did you feel when the judge came in there and just pulled the ladder out from under you like that? When he came, I know if it would have been me, I would have fainted, passed right out in front of him. Don't get me up or anything. Don't do nothing. Don't just leave me there for at least about 3 days. Don't fool with me, period. So how did you feel? What type of impact was that when he brought that type of judgment to you?
It's actually I was numb when I first heard him. My original sentence was 5 life terms plus 53 years. And when I was in courtroom hearing him, life, just hearing that over and over and over, I didn't think it was real. Like I thought I was daydreaming. I was like completely numb. And one of the worst things I like to point out is that my mother, she's actually on the line right now. Are you there, Mom?
Okay. Yes, I'm here.
She the judge actually looked at my mother and told her that she did a horrible job of raising me, and that's one thing that sticks out in my mind. But when I went back to my cell block after being sentenced, a lot of the guys were saying that I should have snapped out, I should have threw the chair at the judge, I should have done this, I should have cut the judge out. But I chose not to do any of those things because I made the decision right then and there that I'm not this monster. I'm not this animal. I'm not this menace that he's saying I am. And so I need to show who I am. I need to show. Okay, I always had a good reputation as being someone who, I served my country. I took care of my family. I wanted to achieve things. And then so when I broke the law, all of that came crashing down, and all of a sudden I'm being called this monster. So I made the decision that I need to show who I am. I'm not this monster. I'm not, I made a mistake, but this is not who I am. So from this point forward, I'm going to show that I am a good person, that I still value the things I value, that I do know how to follow the rules. And, that was when I made that decision. So I remained poised. I came back to my cell block, and I started from that point forward working on, I'm going to change my behavior. I'm going to show these people who I am. And, hopefully one day they will see that this is who Marqui Clardy is. I'm not that person who, is a monster or, this person who breaks the law. That's not me. This is who I am. So that was how I coped with that incident.
Okay. That is awesome. So before we go to the next question, we want to also say hello to your mother. We want to greet her, and then also if she has anything to say after we get through with the interview and the questions, she is also welcome to be able to have a voice as well. So the next question is for Kiara. So when Marqui first came to you in regards to this, what was the impact? Okay, so take for instance, like it was an individual had brought his situation to me, and he has been down ever since 1996. And so his first thing was, well, Miss Winbush, I have been down ever since 1996, 1997. And the first thing I asked him was, where's your alibi? So his alibi was that he was at home frying chicken and macaroni and cheese. I said, son, you're going to have to do better than that. I said, because the judge is not sitting the food with you like that. You can't go, you cannot, you're going to have to, it'd be stressful, and you want to help everybody. I do. And it seems like I hear him crying, but I can't help in a way because the alibi is just like water. In this situation, and in this case, with Marqui, it's not that way. Marqui has admitted to it. He said he was sorry. I think I wrote some type of impact statement where someone had made a statement like, well, he bullied them and things like that. Nobody can bully you. The gun will bully you. That's enough. But so when Marqui came to you, how was that such of an impact that you felt that, this is something that I can be able to help adjudicate, to be able to help him to be able to move forward, and not only that, even to get him free, because we're going to work on trying to help get him free too by letting him come on this podcast, and we can be able to do press releases as well to be able to help. So we can be able to join in some sort of way because this is totally ridiculous. I am so upset about it every time I think about as to how he is sitting behind bars for something that should have been maybe 5 years, and then we can say maybe like a probation or something like that for about a couple of years and stuff. This is what you call outrageous overkill justice.
Absolutely. One thing that I admire about Marqui, there's several different things, but in the very beginning, he took full responsibility for his actions. Never at any time did he play the blame game. And he and I were just talking about this earlier. He's always said, I was wrong for what I did. He's always showed remorse for his actions. And he has went above and beyond. Throughout my work, I've came across many different situations and individuals who are incarcerated and learned multiple stories throughout the years. But one thing that really sticks out to me about certain people is those who are very proactive in their own fight for freedom. Marqui has done so much himself for himself that it makes it easy for you to jump on board and say, absolutely, I'll do whatever I can to help you in your fight for freedom. He's very articulate. He can write. He reaches out to multiple different organizations himself to share his story and to ask for their support. So when I look and I don't take everybody who comes to me for assistance, because some people through their displayed behavior that continues on while they're incarcerated, you kind of they haven't learned their lesson yet. But that I didn't see that with Marqui. And we're talking about someone who's been incarcerated for 13 years and has only had one infraction. And if you know anything about this system, you know how easy it is to get an infraction inside of prison. And sometimes you're dealing with overzealous officers who just write people up just because they're having a bad day and they can. But Marqui has managed to go 13 years with one infraction. He has accomplished and achieved so much, completed so many programs that technically he shouldn't have had access to, because in the DOC, the Virginia DOC in particular, you're not supposed to have access to certain programs, I think, until you're 5 years or less in your sentence. And you're talking about somebody who came in with multiple life sentences. So he's just been able to program and, be self-sufficient and assist in such a major way in his own fight for freedom. It was a very easy decision for me to come on board and help him.
Okay, great. So, Marqui, where are you today in regards to your fight? What is it that you want the audience to be able to know? What is it that you want the world to be able to hear about your statement? Because I can agree with your advocate, Kiara, in regards to the humility. This is my first time speaking to you verbally, but that was what I saw. I saw the humility in the information that I retrieved from online. So what is it that you would like for the audience to know? You know, a lot of times, especially the gentleman, and I'm not here to criticize, and bless his heart, I'm not here to criticize the other gentleman, but you can't, you have to be busy about your case. If you want to be free, you have to be busy too. And so just telling me that you was, frying chicken and putting butter on a biscuit and stuff, that's not good enough, son. You got to come on with this. And so what are you doing to be able to advocate even for you?
Thank you. That's a very good question. Well, one thing that I want everyone listening to know is that like I said, I care so much about what people think of me, and I care so much about being forgiven for the poor choices that I made, and I know that I can't receive forgiveness or a second chance without changing my behavior. So that is what wakes me up every morning. That is my driving force every day, is how can I be better? How can I do better? And I learned a while ago that, the only true change comes through a combination of reflection and action. So I constantly reflect on, there were things that I was doing wrong, that, before I broke the law. There were, we all make poor choices. There were choices that I was making, wrong, that, long before I broke the law. So I constantly reflect on, my poor choices so that I can, take the proper actions to change and become better, So that constant action and reflection is something that's in my mind every day. Reflection and action, should I say. And so, I continue my education. I'm very spiritual. That's one thing I definitely like to put out there. I've become more spiritually grounded over the years, and one way I've been able to do that is by taking correspondence courses on spirituality, and that's just a way of of me becoming more spiritually grounded. And I'm not sure. I think I can take educational and vocational classes and courses, but I think without that spiritual grounding, I think that's the main thing that has been a major factor in me, changing who I am and changing my mindset. And I think God has helped me along my journey a whole lot with that as well.
Okay.
So that is one of the main things I like people to know, that I'm serious about, changing who I am, because I really feel like I embarrassed my family. When I was incarcerated, I embarrassed my family, I embarrassed my friends, I embarrassed, the military, I embarrassed the university. And I really deeply care about that. So now I want to, change and become someone who can make my family proud, make the military proud, make everyone proud. Like, that means so much to me. That means everything to me.
Okay, so even with that, with a piece of advice on that, we surely do not, want you to blame yourself and things. It's just, as I stated before, there are a lot of things that indiscretions that we make, and we may look back on them and what have you, but you have to continue to prepare yourself for release. You got to prepare yourself for release. I know that you're taking the courses, and I don't talk to people about this a whole lot, but I'm a pastor, okay? And so everybody that God sends me to, I already tell them, God, now go in there and just fix it and prepare them for the release. Prepare them for the release. And I know that you have the education, and I know you have the tools, and I know that you have all of that, but get your mind set and ready for release. Okay? Get your pack your bags. Pack your bags in your mind first. Okay? I'm not finna get started because I feel God finna come up and I'm finna cut that off, but pack your bags in your mindset first. Forget about what the governor can do. We're going to put this on what the Lord has already done. Pack your bags in your mindset first. And then, you have your advocacy there with your Kiara to be able to keep you motivated, your mother to be able to keep you motivated, friends and family, the NAAC, all of these individuals. And, all of us can continue to build a fortress around you to keep you up. I'm not there, like Kiara is, but I can be there behind the scenes, in prayer. So we got about a few minutes left, and we want to be able to open the floor for your mom if she wants to be able to share anything with the audience in regards to how this is going to impact her with this journey that God is working on. I can't leave that out. What God is working on, and she
absolutely
can
amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ms. Winbush and Ms. Moore. I'd like to start off by first saying to both of you young ladies that I don't even know you personally, but I already love you so much for what you guys have already done for my son. This means the world to me. It really, really does. It means the absolute world to me. And I feel that, like I used to always tell my son, I felt like the purpose of incarceration was to rehabilitate a person. And if anybody on this planet has been rehabilitated, it's definitely my son. Marqui has learned so much from being where he's at. And it shows in his actions. You know what I'm saying? He has really, really changed a whole lot. I've seen him, change from the 24-year-old child he was when he committed his crime into a very, very productive young man who has so much to offer. He has so much to offer. He really does. Okay. And even since he's been incarcerated, he's just doing so many positive things. He writes a column every month for Interfaith, what is it called? Like Interfaith Answers to Human Rights. I don't know if he still is, but he was tutoring one time, tutoring inmates. He works. He has written a book. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Marqui is a very, I'm not going to say special because I don't want to sound prejudiced, but Marqui, I feel like he just needs a second chance, Miss Winbush and Ms. Moore, and anything we can do to try to help him to come out and prove to the world and his family that he's a better person. Because I definitely have not stopped since all of this has happened. I've reached out to everybody I can to try to help my son to, to come home, because I know what he can do, and I know the type of person he is. And again, I thank you two women from the bottom of my heart, because this means a lot to me. You ladies are helping me in more ways than you'll ever even imagine. This really means a whole lot. And I'm sure it means a lot to Marqui, too. He hasn't seen his kids in 13 years. 2 of them are adults now. They were all babies when he left. 2 of them are already adults. That I don't know. It really does. It just makes you feel so bad. And I thought I could have a nervous breakdown. You asked him about the impact he had when the judge sentenced him. I really thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown because my whole family to help me get through that, because I went into such a dark place in my life, and I couldn't seem to get nothing together to save my life. I know that judge had not just sentenced my son to 5 life sentences plus 53 years for that mistake he had made. That it would have been to me mentally. I really couldn't get past it. I couldn't. I really couldn't. I sometimes I still can't, even though he's had a sentence reduction. I feel like even with the sentence reduction, that was still too much time. But, I guess it is what it is, Mr. Bush. I just want, to do anything I can to help you or Ms. Moore, anything I can do. I want to join forces with you two ladies to try to just get my son back home with his family where he belongs. He's definitely been rehabilitated. He has learned his lesson. I know if anybody has learned a lesson, Marqui learned his lesson when he first got arrested. He was already rehabilitated. He didn't even need to go to jail. You know, I'm sure that right there had an impact on him as soon as he got arrested. But Miss Rambush, thank you so much, and you too, Miss Moore. You ladies are the best.
You're welcome.
You're the absolute best.
Absolutely, both of you. You are Miss Moore, the one. She's the super one because she's already got the ball rolling, and so I'm going to be on the back burner with the prayer, and then also you can be able to use this platform anytime before the audience, in regards to, sharing Marqui's story and, be able to keep the voice going in regards to that. So, and I'm going to be keeping contact with you, Kiara, because this is kind of a little special to me. It's laid out black and white. Some people you have to go in there and you have to drive through the field about 20 years and things in order to get the truth out of them, but the truth is laid right here on the front in black and white, and it kind of bothers me a little bit, but we're gonna still believe God, and we're gonna trust God. And again, Marqui, you are doing a wonderful thing. Continue to keep your head up. Continue to stay motivated. Continue to listen to those that are, impactful in a good environment. Someone else is pulling you down and things, and you got to go turn around and go the other direction and what have you, because we do believe that there is going to be change and a turnaround for your situation. So thank everyone for being with us today, and thank you for Kiara for being here, and as well as his mom and you all, also Marqui. Thank you all so much for being here, and like I said, Kiara, keep me posted, okay? Keep me posted.
Yes, ma'am.
As to what is going on, and so we can be able to continue to build a fortress. I'm not here. Don't have to call my name out. I just want to be on the sidelines to see whatever I can be able to do, okay, on my end. So until then, you all have a great day and be blessed, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And can I add one more thing, Ms. Winbush?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, my mother, she created a campaign for me on change.org to help get supporters. Would it be possible for me to, for her to give the link to that out so that, to see if people can, will support my campaign?
We have already shared all of them on all of our websites. We got it on the website. I think we got it on Facebook. But if she would like to be able to share it here on the show, she's welcome to. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, to all the listeners out there, please be sure to support my change.org campaign. You can find it at www.change.org. Second chances to Marqui. Also, the more supporters we get, the better chances of him getting his clemency is granted. I thank you so much. And again, that page is www.change.org. Second chance for Marqui. Thank you so much, Ms.
Okay. Okay, and you're welcome. And everyone have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too.
Okay, thank you all.
Take care, Marqui.
Okay, you too, Ms. Winbush.